Welcome back to The Legal Lens, your go-to podcast for all things law and order. I'm your host, Kelsey, and today we're diving deep into the fascinating and often complicated world of property transfer and equity. Ever thought about what happens to a cherished family heirloom when someone passes away? Or how about your grandmother's prized collection of stamps? It all boils down to whether the property has been transferred correctly. Let's unpack this crucial topic today.
And I'm excited to be here with you, Kelsey. I'm Ryan, and I've been looking forward to this discussion. The nuances of property transfer can feel a bit like a minefield, can't they? Especially when we think about the emotional stakes involved. A lot of families don't realize how easy it is to make a mistake that could lead to disputes or a loved one unexpectedly losing out.
Absolutely, Ryan. And it starts with a basic understanding of some key terms, so let's break it down. When we talk about property transfers, we're often discussing the formalities required to give away or formally relocate ownership of a property. This can include gifts or setting up trusts. A trust essentially allows you to place your property under the care of a trustee who then manages it on behalf of a beneficiary.
And that's where it gets tricky. If someone intends to create a gift or trust but doesn't follow the correct procedures or formalities, the law can deem the transfer defective or invalid. This raises the question, what does that mean for families who thought their loved one's intentions were clear?
Right. Imagine this. Frank decides to gift his niece a set of valuable shares just weeks before he dies. He thinks he's done everything right. But his sudden death raises challenges, not just emotionally, but legally. What if his will states that everything should go to his wife, Laura? These kinds of situations can escalate into serious disputes. Family members could end up fighting over what was intended and what the law recognizes.
Exactly, Kelsey. And it can be devastating because emotionally, things seem so clear. The wish was there, but without proper execution, the outcome can change drastically. So what do we mean by defective transfers? Essentially, it refers to situations where the method of transferring property doesn't meet legal requirements, resulting in the property still belonging to the original owner at the time of death. So in our example, if the transfer of shares wasn't done right, they revert back to Frank's estate.
And then there's the sticky issue of timing. Let's say Frank executed that transfer back in March, but didn't finish all necessary procedures until June. If he died just after completing those steps, but during his lifetime had not met the 7-year threshold for tax purposes, we might find ourselves in a complicated dilemma regarding applicable taxes.
Right. This brings us to the concept of beneficial interest. When Frank executed the transfer, did he actually hand over the beneficial interest at that moment, or did it only pass once everything was formally recorded by the company? In scenarios like these, tax liabilities can materialize unexpectedly, and things could turn sideways very quickly.
Talk about convoluted. And here's where equity steps in, offering some form of relief for those caught in such messes. Even if the common law says a transfer is invalid due to defects, the principles of equity allow for certain exceptions, like in cases where the donor's intentions are clear, or in circumstances of unconscionability.
Unconscionability, you say? Now that's a heavy term. It basically means that one party to a transaction has acted in such a way that it's unfair or unjust toward the other party. In property transfer, equity can often intervene to prevent an unreasonable outcome where one party unfairly benefits at the expense of another, especially if it can be proven that there was a genuine intention to create a trust or gift.
We can see this principle applied in judicial cases throughout history. Take Pennington v. V's Wayne from 2002, for instance. This case emphasized that in some circumstances, even where proper formalities weren't followed, equity could still intervene to uphold fairness. Witnesses testified to the original intent of the property transfer, leading to a ruling that honored the spirit of those wishes.
So by looking at these examples, we see just how crucial it is to ensure all steps are properly followed when transferring property. Otherwise, after a loved one passes, what could have been a smooth transition can quickly devolve into chaos.
That's so true, Ryan. It might seem boring or tedious to file documents and double-check signatures, but these small actions can prevent heartbreaking disputes. People need to clearly communicate their intentions and get professional advice when dealing with family property.
As we wrap up today's discussion, let's summarize. Understanding formalities in property transfer isn't merely legal jargon, it has real, significant implications for families. If someone fails to execute a transfer correctly, the results can be disastrous, whether that's having the property revert to the estate or incurring it for tax liability. And while equity can provide a safety net in certain situations, it's crucial to observe proper procedures to avoid complications down the road.
For our listeners, don't underestimate the power of planning ahead. Whether you're dealing with gifts, trusts, or anything in between, having clear intentions and ensuring proper formalities can save a lot of stress. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey into the world of property transfers. We hope you've gained valuable insights today.
And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on The Legal Lens, where we'll explore another intriguing aspect of law and your rights. Until then, keep those property transfers in check.